Okay. No matter what, we just move on here. Okay, so, all right. This is the critical part. We're going to go ahead and place implants now. So, okay, so we've taken the teeth out. We've reduced the bone. We're looking, making sure we got the smile taken care of. There's a little bit of infection back here. Give me Betsy again. And again, this is really bloody compared to our average one, but it's just began because of a lot of extra infection here. Infection there. Put that light on there.
Oh, it's working.
Okay, give me the curette. And so right here, he has a sinus. So that's literally the infection that went into the sinus. Not a big deal. We want to make sure, even if it goes in the sinus, that we have just shampoo and the cause and stuff. This is really bloody. So anything that will epinephrine. Okay. Hopefully the audio is actually better. I used for a lot of my YouTube videos, but for some reason, the audio kept going out. And so I just mic'd up, and now I'm on a personal mic. And so if someone wants to see the first portion of the surgery, you can go. There's already a video that we did first, like I'd say 40 minutes where we extracted teeth and gotta keep it in place. Okay, because only it's gonna help keep it. Okay, so yeah, double. So to try to help slow the bleeding down a little bit, we're going to give them a little bit of epinephrine and also numb them up a little bit. This should help a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so most of it's all been just getting all the infection out. We left some teeth in here that we're using as landmarks to tie our plans together, our surgical plan and our restorative plan that was done before this. So a lot of times you just go to a surgery without having a plan in place, and this is one where you could really get yourself in a bad spot because he's definitely a complex case. We're dealing with a lot of unique things here. Okay, we're gonna start putting the implants in now, so let's go ahead and change to the motor. And you'll see how quickly this portion is. It's actually gonna go really fast. So the top, we should have done here in about a half an hour surgically, and then let's clean all the blood too.
Is it empty? No. No.
Jama, you've been with us this whole time. I appreciate you. You're out. That's awesome. Hopefully you're learning something here. And if not, I'm scaring the heck out of you one way or another, right? So, but thank you for participating. That's awesome. I haven't had audio issues like this for a while, but so some of the things you'll notice here is that what you're looking at is you have two teeth in the front here, and then you can see this is where the bone is at. So all the bone is nice and flat. And as you move back here, you turn this way, you'll see the same thing here where it's flat. And the reason it's flat is because one, we took out all the infection, but two, I took a handpiece and I actually profiled it to make it flat. I do that on purpose because I want this device to be super cleansable. As I'm looking to place implants here, great. So let's still So there's one place. So before we place the implants, I'm just gonna saw a couple of areas that could be a little bit better. Moved it. Okay, so
Right there.
that's good. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do the pilot head here first. Section there. Yeah, don't. You're moving the camera. Here.
Okay.
This is where it's helpful to know where everything is at as far as your anatomy. Okay. Off by a little bit there. And so, okay, so they're right about there. So we're going to put 13s here in the front. Okay, so go ahead and grab me 13s.
On the on the little card, please here. Just get a 4.2 by 13.
Okay.
But get the, let's see. Yeah, under top TT. Okay, get top TT. Yeah. Please.
So this basically gives you an idea of kind of where the implant's headed. And then because we plan the surgery, I have an idea of kind of where I want to put it. Okay, so
So you open and drop it on his hand. Like that.
we're gonna drop it.
Okay.
Okay, so here's an implant. It just came out of the package here. That's where the screw's at. Next one. Let's put some, let's pin that. Oh, let me pin this one here. Okay. That's all right now. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second one here.
You can bring 216s probably here. Yeah, we can. Yeah.
I just, here. So if I come here, then we can see we're up against spark and front. So on the left side, I'm going to be somewhere back by this premolar. And on the right side, I might be able to get to this molar here. Gives me an idea. There's just a lot of bone loss here. So again, tricky case. Okay. Whoa. It's like going into another dimension. Okay. All right. So you can tell these are coming out really facial. So we're going to correct that. But we're not yet. Okay, so let's take this one here. Let's put this down all the way. It's a new one.
The new one?
It's not.
The one that is
Comes with it. Okay.
looks like, but you want the new one?
No.
Okay.
And so the good thing is I feel like it's torquing out here, and that's a big part where having someone experienced enough to know every case is different. But one of the things that is really hard is if you don't get good stability, then you can't hook in a temporary to it. And so it's great that it's looking really good. I just want to make sure these are at the same level. And okay, pretty close. Okay, now we're gonna go back here. All right, let me put those right there.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need that there.
Okay. Let's go back.
So pronounced Jima. I still don't know how much to pronounce that. Jima. I don't know. You got to give me more help than that. Okay, so drill. I got to put more. I haven't drilled back here yet. Okay, so the right side. wherever the distraction side is on my sinus. And this side, when I took the tooth out, I think it actually went in the sinus. Okay, so let's just check real quick. Hold that. Let's make sure you don't go. Okay. You can get in here more, Lisa. You don't have to be nervous or scared.
It's not like Chunky's gonna
No,
use your head.
So that's a sinus here. And that's because the infection went right to it. But I'd like to have the implant sit right there. So we're going to come in from an angle and try hard to get this to work. So no, I think I'm okay. You see it?
No.
No. Let's make sure.
Right there, you can take in.
Okay. And so I believe we were able to thread that one between the sinus and
No.
what's that?
You can see it.
I want to move that, Lisa. Whatever we have to do to make it so they can see. Okay, give me. Let's see here. So this is why I do like this implant system, because it allows me more freedom. Give me the 2.0. It's like threading a needle here, because there's so much bone that was eaten up by the infection. Okay, all right. Let's give me an 18. Whatever. Easy there. Okay, so nice long implant. You know, I don't like that I got some yucky stuff on that tissue.
You want to cure it?
Now give me the rungers. So right in here, this is gross stuff here. That's fair. Hold on, it's okay. I'll just. That one there. So this is all nasty stuff. We're going to get rid of that. This is the tissue that we don't want because it's so. And when you know it, because when the tissue is bad, it just comes right off like that. It doesn't. And it was kind of getting pulled in with the implant. I didn't like that. So healthy tissue will never pull away like this. You see how now the margins look nice. Now I can see clear. Now give me Betsy. Let's check that site one more time to make sure there's nothing right here that. I could hold it down like that. Okay.
Be careful.
Okay. So that's good.
Come on.
Hard. So that's the more extreme angle than a traditional all-in-4, but that's why I use this implant, is because it's the only system that has as much as options. So to be able to correct that angle. Okay, so that's good there. Let's come over here now. This side. Okay. No, not yet. We don't know yet. Gotta drill first. Okay, now we'll go to the side. Okay. This is where we just put the one in, and so there's a tiny little bit of place right here that was bone. So we threaded it through right here. That's tricky. All right, like this. We extend up here, put 18 in. We put in an implant here so far. So we put an implant in here, and an implant in here. And now we're gonna stick one in something like this here. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You know that the roots where they stop, that's where. Yep. That's the intersection here. Because we get in our scan, so if we hit a steep angle here, I think we can. Okay, so how do I want to do that again here?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. If I can get a steep angle. Okay, so.
Will you consider this is your most complicated case so far?
Oh no, not even close. This doesn't even hit the top 100. It's just a bloody case. It's a challenging case because we're changing a lot of his cosmetics, and it's not just teeth. It's facial asymmetry, and so it's definitely more complicated. But it's not more complicated. We've done. I'm not doing zygoma here, which would be fun. Can you see that? I really want to be able to. I don't think we're gonna be able to. Let's take that tooth out. This tooth is in the way for us to really get the right angle here. Okay. Now we can make that angle a lot better.
You need the other one? Yeah, straight.
I will in a second. Let's go ahead and get this in first. Up on the way. good there. Okay, give me the 3.5. The other Rangers.
If this is live.
What's that? Is it live?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is still live. Yeah, I can't believe it working late. Got a late start, so let's do an 18 also here. So big portion of the surgery so far has been just getting rid of all the infection, but you'll notice, see how the bleeding has stopped a ton. That's a good sign.
You want the straight?
That means he's a normal. Not yet. Okay. Make me nervous over there. Okay. 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 Now give me the torque wrench. Okay. Get another one that size. In the same size. I'll make sure we're at the same height.
God.
We're gonna grab it.
Yeah, can you get 2 kids off the small ones? Yeah. They have them.
Okay. Let's give me a 52.
Okay.
On this side here.
Yeah, though. And you can get to him.
Okay, 52. Okay, so now I can look at these and make sure they're the same height, which now I feel better that they're almost the same height. Okay. Got 52. So this is a multi-unit abutment. Okay. Just make sure it's all the way attached. So
Well, I'm watching from Scotland here.
Scotland, huh?
Maybe
That's
have
awesome.
my-
We were gonna go to Scotland before COVID hit, me and my wife, and our plans changed. That's on our wish list. We'd like to get back there. What I'm doing is basically just deciding where, if this is the right angle, and it can be a little tricky to get in there at first time. So that's going out the buckle a little bit, so we need to reverse it just a tiny bit. So we're gonna turn counterclockwise, but it looks like it might be just the angle that we want. Again, I need the long one. It's tissue. So just a little turn like that. Now we can come back in. Give me, what's the other, 60? Give me 60. Let's try 60 real quick on this side. And then let's see how this looks over here. I have to go. Oh, pretty darn close. We'll turn it just a tiny bit more, just a little bit, and then this one will be in the right spot. Okay. That looks good. Take that. Nothing.
Hard?
Just hard angle.
If the rat goes in there.
Okay. Now the other side. Give me that other one.
On the 45? 52.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of water there. Okay, section there. Okay. Section there. Go and give it a rinse too. In case some bone went down there. Let's see. Other questions? Let's see here. Scotland. So you never really told me. So how do you pronounce your name then? And where are you from? Okay, that looks good. Like that. Okay. Well, no, that's good. Smaller one. I'm gonna hold the jaw down. So the whole concept here is that we can place implants where the bone is. Like in his case, the reason why we're tilting him so far back is because he has a sinus that's in the way, and before that he had a lot of infection. So limited bone. So we put the implant in at an angle to be able to anchor in the bone, and then we correct that angle with a connection called an abutment. Okay, so the two posterior ones are in now. Ones. Let's look at a. Let me just really quickly pull up. Let's do a 30. You laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me?
Because you were looking there and then 30.
I'm a pretty cool guy.
It's your age.
It's my age. So I just turned 40 this last weekend. I'm so old. How long does surgery take? Usually about 4 to 5 hours, but it depends. Every case is different. Like Jamie ending with an A instead of an IE. Jamie or what? Okay, so now we're gonna look here. Okay, obviously that doesn't look great, right? So we're gonna turn that one. That one looks a little
closer.
But part of the story too is if we do too much, let's put a 17 in. Give me a 17 real quick. And I'll show you the difference between these two. Because if we tilt too much, then he'll have a tough time speaking, which is one of the big complications, again, prosthetically, the doctors face because they didn't have a plan in place before they started the surgery. Let me turn it. Yeah. So there's that, and then, which I like that a lot more. And then here, this needs to be turned also.
This one is a 17, right?
Yeah, it's 17. Okay, give me one more 17. Let's see. Jama. Okay, I'll go with that. I like that. It's cool. Indianapolis, huh? Indiana, home of the Indianapolis 500. You ever been to that, Sean?
Been to what?
Indianapolis 500?
I haven't, but I was there while it happened one time, and it was crazy.
Pretty intense, huh? Reverse. So, Jama, are you thinking about having this done? Is that why you're interested in this? I don't know how people are watching this, but you're the only one that wants to interact with me, so I'm just going to give you all my attention. It might be my good looks. It intimidates people sometimes because it's not on me, right?
Her name right. So.
I did say it right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey. That's the beginning of a friendship, right? Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. The angulation of the driver that you see there, that's where the implant, that's the angle of the implant. And then we put this abutment on and it corrects to this angle, which is where the teeth are. Because that's where the bone is. So I put the implant into where the bone's at, but then I can correct it, which is what I did. Now it looks great. Okay, so now we can take these out. Okay, let's go ahead and um, okay. What do you think we're gonna do?
Stop asking.
Okay,
Have to.
I like it. See, I tell my assistants, if you put something in my hand, I'll use it to do something. It's bugging you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so still some infection back here. This can be easily missed, right? There's some more infection. Okay. I think you got the side of this tooth just a little bit. So we can use that. Take that out later. Okay, let's do some PRF. Put some PRF back here in these holes. Okay. So now the implants are placed. Because we placed nice long implants, I can't put any more implants here because they wouldn't. You would hit the implant here. So, and 4 that are nice and solid are good. Perfect is good enough. Okay. Nikki. Okay, so this is one of the cool things we do. So this is actually from his blood. Okay. Our nurse anesthetist, Sean here, when he got him sleepy, I think it was after actually, right? You did it after. Did you do this after? During?
I did it before you went to sleep.
Oh, okay. So either way, he drew this blood and then we put it in a centrifuge. We spin it out and it basically fractions out into 3 different things. White blood cells, from the top down, be plasma, then white blood cells, and then red blood cells. And what you're seeing here is the white blood cells. And it basically is a great way to help the body heal faster. Where I'm putting these is where the sinus is. So we're not going to put a bone graft there because it would fall into the sinus. But what we are going to do is plug it with these membranes, which will basically ask the body to take care of it for it. And it works really great. It will regenerate the bone. So it's in a sense kind of like a bone graft, or it can be, depending on where you put it. We're putting it in a bony site with the idea that the body's going to regenerate itself in that area. So it's also asking, again, you can press it down, make it so it's flat. Because it forms perfectly right to the site that I'm putting it into. So you can see like there's a pretty good hole right here, and I've already put one there. Valentina, you just got it. You're just messing with me, aren't you? See how that sits in there? gives me the tingle. Okay, we'll leave it. Let's just do one more right here underneath the nose. You're just messing with me, I can tell. Now, most of the bone was pretty bad because it was so infected. Let's grab some synthetic bone.
Yep.
So, and got a permission before, and our consents, and we talked about it before. He actually went under that if I needed to use some bone, that I had his permission to use whatever bone I thought was best. And I'm going to add just a tiny bit of bone on this outside here because it indents. It kind of folds in here. It's like a little cul-de-sac right there. And also, I placed these PRF here because this is a site that is typically more sensitive for patients. So I like to put one right here underneath the nose. It's not acting in the same manner as these back here. These are acting actually as a bone graft. This is actually more, here is more just for inflammation. But we're gonna graft this site here just to give it a little extra oomph. That should be good, yeah. Again, we measure our success not in years, but decades. I think that's how we should as doctors. And this isn't gonna make a difference this decade, but maybe it will in the next decade or the one after that. So we're going to put it right in here. Before we do that, though, we're going to just create a quick site for blood to get there. So the only thing that heals within the body is blood. Blood is the vitality. So we could throw some bone on the inside, but if we don't have some channels, it's like little reservoirs or little. See there, and that'll start to bleed. See how it starts to bleed. So it's going to bring blood to the site, which is going to make that. This bone is really hard, and that's the way it is usually on the outside, so it's very dense. Work the bone. And hey, that's my PRF. Don't be taking my PRF. Put that back. That's rude. Okay, and then we'll put one more here. Okay. Now it kind of acts as a scaffold, but also now we're going to graft the bone here. Okay. Mix this bone with his plasma. Be careful not to, it'll take it all out. This stuff is really. We did have some bone, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, him?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see it. So this is the bone that of all the bone I took away, this is the only bone that I thought was good enough to keep. So what we will do is.
Are you gone?
We will. Yeah, it's okay. We're just so much infection. Usually it's not the case. Usually we have just more bone than we want, actually. But in his case, it's just unique. Okay. All right, let's go ahead.
Sutures.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to suture. Yes, we're going to suture before we take these out. Last thing we're going to do before do that, though, is make sure. Okay. All right. Let's cut. I'm gonna go ahead and give me the 15.
Little slice of pizza.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Suture. A lot of the, I think someone asked a question on YouTube like last night or something like that about why some people hurt a lot after all-on-4 and others don't in other offices, because most of our patients report very little pain on day 2. I mean, like tomorrow for him. But we do have patients every once in a while that do have more pain than was expected. But the common thread in that is that they usually are on a lot of medications have a lot of anxiety, and so typically we will prepare patients like that they may be the outlier. But I do feel like one of the little secrets that we do here is the way we suture allows for the body to swell less because we're not tight. The trick is actually not to suture so tight. We want to give the body a little bit of room. And then again, going back to what we said at the beginning, number one complication in all important is hygiene. So what I'm doing right now is I'm literally creating the hygiene so it's nice and flat. I mean, you can see already, look, maybe it doesn't look as cool on the camera, but it looks really great from my perspective.
Not the best camera angle.
Go ahead and push there. When are you going to start to sit? I can never get her to sit down. She likes to stand doing surgery. I used to stand for like first 7 years I stood. Now I hit, I think 39. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit now. I still stand sometimes, but
I have to keep my body active.
so Valentina is our assistant here, and she wants to be a dentist, and so we are encouraging her, trying to help her, go to school, and I think she'll make an awesome doctor one day.
Oh, thank you.
I don't want to believe that you can't do it because I know you can. But on top of it, like, we need doctors like you that just have truly a sweet, empathetic, kind. But it will be hard on you just like it's hard on me because you care so much. So the suture we're putting right now is a suture that will actually be mostly underneath the device, underneath the bridge we're going to put in on Friday. We're going to be delivering on Friday for him. Usually it's usually, most of the time it's 24 hours later, but his family requested that we do it Friday so that it was easier for them to see it. So we're going to do that. But this looks marvelous. This looks really good. Are you excited? I don't know. I love when sutures. It looked about. Remember about when it was. If you look back, how it looked like hamburger back. Just an hour and a half ago, an hour ago, right?
Yeah, that was your description.
It looked like ground beef. It was just. Now it's looking pretty good. And yes, we're going to take out these teeth, but we're going to take an impression first. Yeah, those PRFs do look like boogers, don't they? That's a good way to describe it. Jeez. Right. Okay.
Any location in San Diego?
We don't have. We're just in Utah. It's worth a flight in. Like Ravi's from Dallas. I would say 75% of our patients, maybe even higher, are from out of state. They fly in, and so we really kind of changed our whole timeline and stuff to kind of be more accommodating for patients that are out of staters. Usually, like Ravi, he'll come back in 4 months with his temporaries, and he will. See, I'm starting to lose that one a little bit. Let's cut that, so we're not. I'm burying it. He'll come back in 4 months to do what we call a testing and calculations, and that's basically to test to see all of his implants healed. And I'm just going to come here. And if it goes well, meaning that his gums are healed, implants are healed, it's a sad day when we have. I mean, rarely do we have implants fail, but they do. But when it does, we just schedule for implant replacement, as long as we believe the patient did everything by the book, meaning that they were on a soft diet, they didn't break their temporaries. If you break your temporaries, that voids it. People say, well, what if you can't control it? What if it's at sleep, at night? Then I recommend to my patients that they just delay getting their temporary. So just delay it a little bit. Like my father, actually, we did all in 4 on him, and because he's such a high risk for grinding, he's basically healing for the first few months without lower teeth to mitigate that risk.
I was like, what is this doing here?
We want
about
that.
Faith, wasn't me.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So how did payment implant work?
So that's between you and whatever agency or so there's bank. We use third party lending. We don't finance anybody ourselves here. We're just not positioned to do that. There's some general dental offices that will do that, but these are such big investments, and there's really no collateral, right? I mean, I can't repossess these implants, and so it makes it really hard to do that. I used to do 50 to 75% down. I did a video on that just a few months back on why I don't do that anymore. Mainly, patients oftentimes have something happen in their life, and then the money that they had planned to use isn't there, and then so I think that's kind of after I've done it for many years, I think it's a bad idea, and I don't think doctors should do it. It puts patients in a place where they can hurt themselves. So some patients are like, well, I don't want to pay it all down up front because I don't trust dentists. You guys are, rich SOBs, and every other dentist has kind of screwed me. And I go, I understand that totally. And so you can have it put into an escrow where it sits there. And as long as I know it's there and that we're not going to have to be delayed to go into your final treatment, then that's fine. I don't need the money. I just want to know it's there so that we don't have. But usually right now, yeah, go ahead and cut that one. I don't know. It seems like there's less. To be honest, it seems like less people are getting financed. Have you heard that too?
Patients are getting financed.
As far as financing, that it seems like we have less approvals compared to which is really weird because you think with the interest rate so low, I think maybe there's just so much, I don't know, the demand's so high that maybe. But if you have good credit and you have steady income, you'll get approved something. It's just a matter if you're going to get approved for. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like a steady income. You had the job for a few years. I mean, it's just like buying a car or anything else like that. People always give me a hard time because I think I don't tell them pricing. I do like in every video I do now. So in my office, price-wise, you're typically going to be, if it's a standard only 4, you're going to be right around 25 grand. That's if we don't need zygoma implants or we don't need to do any extra special things like I'll bone graft, that's fine. But if we have to put extra implants in, we need 6 implants, and that would increase it too. But that's for surgery, and it's also for, I mean, it's all one package. So it's 25 grand per arch. So you're looking at, more or less 50 grand. It's not a perfect science. It's not like I have just, sometimes I'll give a discount or a scholarship or some sorts for patients that are willing to do a marketing video with me, like Ravi. You saw yesterday, if you watched the video, he's just a sweet man, and they just fell in love with the story, and so he's going to share this with everyone, and so we're going to make it a win-win for everyone. And I do that. Last week we did that with Danielle. We have some amazing patients. What I'm doing right now is I'm literally, seems like, why waste your time with what you're doing? This is the magic. I'm telling you right here. Valentina, you don't even realize either. This is the magic right here.
I know.
What I'm doing is making it so that he likes me tomorrow. I am flattening that tissue down. I'm basically pushing that tissue down so it readapts. Oh, they can't even see it. Can't even see the magic. Just flattening all that down so that it will create less inflammation. And it's training the tissue to be nice and flat from the get-go. Okay. All right, so where's my invention here? I wanted to try. Let's take a look here. Let's put the and the caps on. You all right, man? Your wife gonna kill me?
Oh, no, it's not right. We have a patient at another office that's
Struggling?
struggling a little bit. Just waking up.
It's a little stressful.
It's all good. And Mike's out of town, so.
Good at there.
Good.
So you can see
Easy.
Thank you.
Okay. It's looking pretty awesome, right? Are you like,
Yeah.
you're not even,
No, I like the idea because it's gonna help tomorrow. So last time with Danielle, everything was good, but the gums get more tall than we were expecting.
Alright, we got Chick-fil-A. We got Blaze.
that's good.
What do you think?
Everything
What do you
sounds
want?
good to me.
Okay,
Sit
so
down by yourself.
Oh.
discussing what we're going to get to eat because this is turning into an evening project, you know?
It's hard to do, to be honest. That's why I'm not in charge. I'll take that position. I take forever.
Oh, come on. What would your wife want?
What would my wife want?
Let's just go with your wife. Bet she's
Yeah.
smart.
Text her.
So what I'm working on, guys, right now is I'm just working on the tissue. This is a little device I'm going to put in, and it's going to act as a kind of a bandage while he's healing. And it's going to be great. Yeah.
Can I get a link?
He's over there.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for ways to make it a little bit better, a little, you know. And this is one that I've been thinking about for some time. I made this when I was designing his teeth last night, and takes a couple minutes, but then it will work some magic here in a second because it's going to help push the tissue down. And oh yeah, that just feels so right. Feels very right. I like that. Okay. Now, right there. Um, any questions?
What?
Questions all? Okay. So the bottom should go a lot faster because there's not as it's not as critical because it's I mean it's critical, but it's not as cosmetic. So I'm not dealing with many factors. So
Good.
okay, I think we're probably good now.
What do you need?
We need the scanner.
Scanner.
Good. Okay, so all right. I just realized that the sound was off. I've been talking, bearing my heart and soul here, so hopefully, what I'm saying is that this here is going to act like a splint for him. We'll give it pressure. We're also going to scan with this on, and then we'll take these teeth out. We'll marry these teeth to the plan that I did before he ever started surgery, and then we will show you the smile reveal on Friday morning. So look for it. Stay tuned. And also, I might do a smile or a video tomorrow, just showing me as I'm putting everything together. So, any questions before I tap out? I know this looks a little crazy, but I'll take some videos that'll make sense for those who care. But thanks for staying in there, Jama, my favorite. You're a sweetheart. Appreciate you. And have a great night. Okay.